Hello, welcome to my show. Who the hell am I? Well, if you don't know, you may have seen me in Spelling Bee or The Lion and the Wiz, or on the Electric Company watching TV with your kids. But if you saw Memphis, how could you forget this? The smile, the style, the fat, the flow. Welcome to the Jasmine Show.
Hey JMI fans, it's your boy Jasmine back with another episode of the JMI Show, and I am still living in the world of Agrabah, but this time I have the stars of Aladdin. Ladies and gentlemen of the JMI audience, I have Courtney Reed and Adam Jacobs, Aladdin and Jasmine. Thank you guys for being on my show.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so for those who do not know who you are, and if you don't know, please Google them and find out, because these people are absolutely fabulous. Ladies first, Courtney. I guess I'll say, just give us a little bit of background about you. How'd you get started in this business?
Oh my gosh, how did I get started? I started at a really young age because my sister was in dance class and I wanted to be in dance class just like my sister. And then I went to Performing Arts High School, and then I went to a theater conservatory in Chicago. And then I booked Mamma Mia like right after I graduated.
So where'd you go to school? What
I went
school
to Chicago College of Performing Arts at Roosevelt University.
Right, and then right after that you booked
Mamma Mia. So like I did like a couple shows, and then I booked Mamma Mia, and I thought it was for the tour. And so they were like, yeah, so you're going in for Mamma Mia, and I was like, yeah, but I don't think they want me because they didn't want me last time I auditioned. So I went in there, and then like the next day they called me back, and my agent like called me like 2 days later and was like, do you want to be on Broadway? and I was like, ah!
I'm assuming you said no.
Yeah, I said no, absolutely not. And so I then flew out to New York. I'd never been to New York before, and I'd never seen a Broadway show. And so I flew out to New York, and I was like, got up out of like 42nd Street, and I saw like the Mamma Mia signs.
Hold on, stop for a second. Fans, now you've seen me say this before. This is not the norm. You just don't graduate from college, audition for some age, and go, hey, you want to be on Broadway? This happens to certain people. This is one of those magical stories. This is awesome. Keep going, man.
So I went in there and I met like the whole cast, and they were like, so you're going to watch the show tonight? And I was like, yeah. And they found out that this was like my first Broadway show that I was ever seeing. So they like sat me in like the 4th row, and I was there with like the guy that was going to be joining the cast with me, and we just like the whole time we were like, oh my God. So I was like freaking out, but yeah. And then after that I saw a lovely show called In the Heights, and I was like, I need to be in the show. This is my dream show. So then I kept auditioning for the show, and then I auditioned as an ensemble dancer, and I ended up booking Carla and understudying Nina and Vanessa, so I got to play like all of the amazing roles.
We'll get back to that, because that's definitely what I want to talk about, because those that don't know that my boys worked on In the Heights. But let's talk to the leading man of the show. Ladies, gentlemen, but mostly ladies, this handsome man right here, Adam Jacobs, is our leading man. This is Aladdin. So I'm going to ask you an Aladdin question first.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of shows. You've done on Broadway, you've done Les Mis, you've done on tour, you've done The Lion King. Mm-hmm. You are about to step into the role that no one has played in this type of medium. You're about to play Aladdin. What is that like? What's going through your mind?
Man, it's exciting. It's thrilling, because like you guys, we watched the movie growing up, and I idolized Aladdin growing up, and to be able to play him and be the first person to do it, that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty thrilled to do it.
Now, give people a little bit of background. I said a couple of the shows, but give a little people a background about you, Adam. Where'd you come from? How did you get here? What happened?
Yeah, well, let's see. I grew up in San Francisco.
Yes!
Hey, Bay Area, West Coast.
Bay Area. Gay area. Okay, go ahead.
And then I went to NYU, studied there. And to contrast her story a little bit, I did the whole theme park, cruise ships, worked my way up.
That's how it usually happens.
Waiting tables a little bit, cater waiter.
Yes.
All you New Yorkers and people in LA, they know.
Yes. So since you mentioned cater waiter, what is the worst situation that ever happened to you while being?
I had to do a party up the Bronx at the conservatory, and Martha Stewart was there, and we were in charge of getting the cake and bringing it to, and she came up to us and she's like, is this cake cold? Because this cake better be cold.
Oh.
And she was like, really, and we were like, yeah, it's cold, it's cold. You know, and I had to stand there while everybody else was doing the tables. I had to stand there and pretty much guard the cake. So that was pretty fun.
Just Martha
Small little
Stewart.
anecdote.
Just Martha Stewart.
Just Martha Stewart.
Attack.
You just said some Martha Stupid.
No, I would never say that because I may meet her someday and I want to keep my career. So Courtney, you joined In the Heights and you played everyone. What's really funny is I have a dear friend, actually the guys who created In the Heights are a lot of good friends of mine, but the leading man, Chris Jackson, you got to play opposite him in several capacities of the show. What was it like to actually, you're in the Heights, you're in this show that won the Tony and you're like, oh my God, I'm here. Like, did you freak out when what was the best moment that you had on stage? Which character did you like the best?
Oh, well, I have to say I loved Carla the best because I'm kind of this quirky. I'm not like quirky, but like I like to be funny and like joke around a lot, and so she is like she sets it up for Andrea Burns, who plays Andrea Burns, who plays Daniela.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's been so long. And so
We've been in tech for a long time, y'all. We'll get back to that.
Time. So anyway, I mean, she's just so fun and funny and awesome, and I loved working opposite Andrea, so we just had a blast on stage and off, so that had to be my favorite role.
So now you are Jasmine, Princess Jasmine. When Disney puts out their princess collection, Jasmine is always there, and she's one of the first princesses, along with Ariel, that actually had what we like to call here at the in this particular version of this Aladdin. That's actually English, but you guys know how I talk when I'm on camera. She's one of the first princesses to actually have kind of an attitude. Because she really, not a bad attitude, but she fights, for what she wants and what she believes in. What was it like? Bad question. Good question. Was she one of the princesses you looked up to as a child, and now you're playing her, so how does that correlate? How does that go together?
Absolutely, hands down, favorite Disney princess, always. Because I was like, well, she's ethnic looking, so
Right.
and I'm kind of ethnic looking, she's my favorite. So, but she's like, I mean, she's like not weak. A lot of the Disney princesses are kind of, oh, me, I'm so sad. But she's very strong-willed,
Very assertive.
and she fights for what she believes in, and I love that about her. It's such an honor to play her.
And the two of you guys actually got to do the reading before we even got to Seattle. You guys actually did the reading, so the first people to actually not just play the roles, but actually do the first reading when Disney decided, hey, we're thinking about making this into a musical. You guys were the ones that they chose.
It was quite an honor to be chosen. I was doing Lion King at the time, and they actually took me from the show on tour.
Let's pause for a
and brought
second.
me into New York.
Who were you playing, Adam?
I was playing Simba on the
So let's
road.
think about this for a second, ladies and gentlemen. The man has played Simba, and now he's playing Aladdin. Wow, you are. Yeah, I don't like you anymore. That's awesome, dude. So you guys got to sit down and read it and watch the creative team create. I was going to ask you something else, but I want to ask you this now. You guys don't know this, but when you guys come and see the show, there was a brand new song in the show called "Million Miles Away," and it's a great and wonderful duet. But you guys also get the privilege of singing "A Whole New World." So I remember you guys singing "Million Miles Away" and us going, wow, what a great song, what a wonderful new duet that people are going to love. It's in the first act. And then we got to "A Whole New World," and Alan Menken came to town.
That's right.
And then Alan Menken took you guys into a room, and why don't you guys just discuss what it was like?
That was our favorite day in the rehearsal process.
My favorite day.
Up until opening, because that was the same day we also got to ride the magic carpet for the first time. But Alan Menken came in, he said, you know what? Because we had just finished that run through, and he's like, there's something not quite right. There's something I want to rethink. I want to redo A Whole New World and put a new spin on it and make it fresh and new. And we're like, fantastic, let's do it. So we were by the piano, and it was me, you and me, and Alan Menken and Kaz. And Glenn Kelly, and we're just standing there, and Ian, and we're just.
Kaz is our musical director. Glenn
Kazan.
Kelly created all the dance music, and Ian is the assistant musical director. Just so you guys know.
So we're arranging it. We're trying to figure out what's the best thing, and this became this beautiful new version of A Whole New World, and it's more intimate and romantic. And
it still keeps all the strength of the original.
Yes,
the original song is still there. It's just that the new intro and the little things that he did with it just made it so theatrical. And watching the two of you guys do it was like ridiculous. And
Yeah, I was crying.
It was
like
magic.
a crazy person. I was like, I'm sorry, Adam, but
Yeah.
I kept crying, like I couldn't stop crying. It was like the most insane thing. I was like so embarrassed, but I just couldn't stop it. I was like,
And I was like, don't worry, because that's how they know it works.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I was like,
Because I snuck into the room to watch you guys do it, and the whole time I'm watching going, I remember being a kid watching the Disney Channel and watching them interview Howard Ashman, watching them interview Alan Menken, and watching them create. You know, they always talk to them, how do you guys create? And I got to watch him create this song that won an Oscar, recreated on the two of you,
Yeah.
and that had to be the coolest thing for me. So I know for it to be created on you, it must have been like, it was a
Yeah.
historical moment.
It was a historical moment.
completely.
So, since we're in the show, two questions I'll ask you. One, what's been the toughest part about being in Aladdin right now? I mean, we had our first preview last night, which went amazing. Woo! So we're still in previews. Things can still change. We still got new pages today. You know.
Right. Well,
so
that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I was gonna say, learn that we have line changes practically daily. So
Yeah.
as you know, so it's like we're trying to learn the new lines, forget the old lines, new blocking, sets being moved to different spikes, and
Yeah.
so adjusting. I've learned to really quickly adjust. That's sort of a cool skill to have, I think.
Yeah.
What about you, Kurt?
I think it's not fully being as prepared as you, like not feeling like, oh my gosh, like last night we were doing it for the first time for an audience and I felt, I need more time, I need more time, I need more time, I wish I had like one more week.
Yeah.
And so that's the toughest part for me, is not feeling like
Just letting
I'm
that go.
so prepared.
So the next question is the most important question. Adam Jacobs, Courtney
Yes.
Reed, what's it like working with me?
James is the best.
Thank
oh
you
gosh,
very
he's the
much.
best.
Yeah, this
he's
guy
super
rocks it
funny
out.
and he's just like so huggable and so nice
And he's those riffs, the way he riffs, not just singing. I'm not talking just singing, but just going up there on stage and coming up with stuff. As a Genie, he's got that freedom, and does he take liberty?
yes.
Take liberty is
In a good way.
In a good way. As some of the people who watch the show know, I have been known to be called, zero. Find my way to zero. Stay on it. In this show, I kind of do that,
Yeah.
but it's really fun because the chemistry that the three of us have on stage is so cool. You guys have been in theater a long time. You guys are both young, but what is the craziest moment on stage you have ever had? I mean, ever on stage you have ever had?
I would have to be. There's a moment when I was in Les Mis on Broadway, and we're going.
Who'd you play in?
I played Marius.
Played Marius,
the
okay.
love interest, and I had to climb over a fence and enter Rue Plumet and meet Cosette in her garden, and as I was climbing over it, it became unpinned. The fence, and because the turntable's going, it starts turning and going towards the audience into the orchestra pit. But luckily, a guy ran out. One of the set guys ran out and grabbed it, and I'm at the top, straddling it with these spikes coming up towards my crotch, and
wow.
I basically had to jump off 10 feet from the air, and big loud thud onto the deck. But I was okay, and we kept on going. We didn't stop the show, but that was the most harrowing musical theater moment I've had.
What about you,
Oh my
Courtney?
gosh. Well, I don't have that many. There was one time when I was in Mamma Mia, we were doing the mega mix at the end, and I had this god awful it was like a metal necklace that attached to my dress. And we were doing the mega mix, and it used to always come undone, and I was like, oh god, it's so annoying. And so we were doing Mamma Mia, and you do this for most of the time. He knows he was in Mamma Mia. So I do the mega mix, and and I feel something break around my neck, and I was like, wait, there's something. My dress came down. It was like whop, like that, and I was like, ah! And so it just came down, and my bra was completely out, and I was like, and everyone was laughing at me on stage, and I just ran off stage, and I was like.
Somehow I feel that the front row probably had the best seat in the house. I bet all those guys went back and paid extra money ever. Speaking of that, you guys don't know this about Courtney, but Courtney is sweet, and nice, and funny, and very talented, and also a gym rat. So Courtney spends most of her time in the gym. She's either sleeping, in the gym, or singing. So the fact that your dress came down with the body that you have created, you are fine. And when you see the costumes in the show, you know the cartoon. Nothing's changed. She's wearing the exact same outfit and it looks exactly the same. Because I've never seen anybody who stays in the gym as much as you. We have tech at night, and then you go to the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning. Who does that? I just want to know, is it something in your head? Do you think you're fat? What's wrong with you?
Oh my god, you're so funny.
Because I enjoy being fat. I make a living about it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like you release a lot of endorphins when you go to the gym. I feel like it's hard for me to wake up in the morning, so when I go to the gym, it really warms my body up, and then I can stretch and feel like I'm not like hurting myself.
Yeah.
And but sweating is really good for you. And I feel like I can like sing and move at the same time, or else I feel like so out of shape.
And you, my brother, you are also extremely in shape. You do a lot of physical stuff in Aladdin. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
one jump,
jumping over buildings,
is
hopping.
We won't say any more about that. You have to see it. You have to see it. But let me just say, it's aerobic. It's aerobic. That's it. And in this wonderful, wonderful version of this production, we have no understudies, no swings. So what you see is what you get. Keep your fingers crossed that nobody falls down any place.
Please.
I would like to say thank you for coming on my show. Thank you for
Pleasure.
the fans will enjoy it. I think they will enjoy getting to know you guys. And if you want to know more about them, I say Google them. I know my boy over here has his website. What is it?
AdamLJacobs.com.
And do you have one?
CourtneyReed.com.
Okay. They have websites. Google them, check them out, and come and support Aladdin, Disney, the brand new musical. And I just want to say, listen, I love y'all. I think it's great. Thank you for just being silly with me and being wonderful and just being too pretty for words, both of them. Aren't you just pretty people? It just kind of makes you upset, doesn't it? See you guys later, guys. Peace.